Ben, thank you so much for joining the show. I've got so many questions. I'll tell you honestly, that the plane went down near my home, and I remember seeing the video of all of y'all file off. And I'm going to be honest with you. I said to myself, I wear heels all the time. How would I have been able to stand on the ledge of that plane to get off there, and to think that those shoes that were on your feet mean so much in a different way? It's so touching. Take me back to that moment when you knew you were going to have to walk out on faith and walk out on the ledge in those shoes.
Yeah, at that moment, I was actually feeling a little better about the survival because, obviously we survived the crash and the impact. But another fortunate thing is I ended up in the raft, so it wasn't as slippery as the wings, but I can understand. I know some passengers who had heels on and got rid of those very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. So you were out there at that point with, even in the rafts, it was so cold that day. I remember you're surrounded by water. When you look at those boots even now, do they play just like a memory or movie in your mind of the fear and even the joy, as you explained, when you knew it was going to be okay?
Yeah, I think what I think about most when I look at them is like they have a lot of signs of obviously the water that came up to my knees that day. I mean, they're still like in the photo as they were when I pulled them off, other than they're dry now.
When you got to solid land in those same shoes that were soaked, did you think instantly, I will never get rid of these boots? These boots will go with me wherever I live.
I wasn't thinking it at the time because they were so soaked and cold, but I do remember distinctly thinking about the feeling of my feet being on solid land for the first time since we took off.
What was that feeling like for you?
That was the first time that I really felt like I was safe, because I'm not the greatest swimmer by far. So, we still had the rescue after the rescue, as I think Sully called it. Once he got the plane down, into the water in, enough shape for us to evacuate, then we had to rely on others to rescue us. So throughout that process, there was still a little, uncertainty there until my feet actually hit land.
When you made it home and you're, back to the hotel where they took you all and you finally took them off for the first time, is that when you had that next level connection with this item?
I had quite a few items. I didn't really know what they were going to mean at the time. I just knew I wasn't going to throw them away.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the items were still in the bottom of the Hudson River. It was just what I had on my person, that I had with me when I came in the door at home. But yeah, I took those off. I think they sat by the door for a while so they could dry out, but eventually put those and other clothes that I was wearing that day in the hall closet.
Packed them away. So it's been 12 years. Where are the boots now?
They're right beside me right now.
Can we see them?
Sure. I thought you might ask. So
Did you get them cleaned?
No, they're still looking pretty ragged. They're just.
Where do you keep them in a safe place? Do you keep them with the rest of the shoes?
No, they're kind of in their own little place in a hall closet that I use for like maybe winter jackets and things like that.
Wow, it's amazing. I understand exactly that feeling. I have items, as we talked about. This is funny enough. I carry around in my purse, I'll show you this, my baby's diaper when he was a much smaller baby, and his first pajamas. I keep this in my purse, as tattered and worn as they are, with his little name on it, because these things mean so much to us. Well, I'll tell you what, do you remember how much you paid for those shoes?
Oh my goodness. Not really, probably around $100 or so.
And now they're priceless. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and keep those boots safe. And we're happy you made it and all of those passengers out safe that amazing day. Thank you.
Thank you. And congratulations on 300 episodes.
Oh, thank you so. Okay, you're going to make me blush now, Ben.